Okay, my friends, here it is. The video that is going to solve your problem of weak, soft little seedlings that then struggle when they go outside. So in this video, you are going to learn everything you need to know in order to have massive success this year. So let us get into it. Before I show you the setup and everything, you have to understand that plants need 5 things: light, water, air, nutrients, and it all has to happen at the right temperature. Now, these 5 things can be seen like an equation in the sense that any one of them can be the limiting factor. If you don't have enough light, it doesn't matter if you've got enough of the other ones, it's not going to thrive. Likewise, if you don't have enough moisture or you don't have enough airflow, it doesn't matter how much of the other ones you have, it's not going to thrive. So the ideal seed starting setup must be able to manipulate these 5 factors. So if you are having struggles with producing really nice, vibrant, healthy seedlings, I want to know in the comments after you're done watching the video, leave it in the comments, which of these 5 things does your setup not have the ability to manipulate? Because I guarantee it's one of them. So you're about to see 2 things in this video. One is the ideal seed starting setup. Now, you don't have to have this exact setup. You can just watch it and understand the system that is applied and then custom tailor it to whatever you have available. Or if you do want this exact setup, I've custom tailored a nice little package, Amazon links package for you in the description. Every single thing you see here is in that. You can just purchase the entire thing all at once if you want. The second thing is you're gonna see me using this par meter. Now, we don't need to understand what this is for now because the next video is going to explain exactly what this is and why it's so important. But this, for now, just understand that this thing measures the amount of usable light that the plants are actually receiving. Very important to know, as you will see. And then when we come back, I will tell you the one secret tip that is going to give you massive success this year with your seed starting game, especially if you're growing onions indoors, which are sensitive to day length hours. Okay, my friends, here it is. Now for this, we are going to utilize the grow tent, and I have not found a better solution for this than the grow tents. These things are amazing. No, I'm not sponsored by this company. I should be though, but I'm just recommending this to you guys because it is a self-contained unit that you can put anywhere. Watch and observe and learn. So we got this nice flat area right here, and we need to get starting seeds. So you guys haven't seen it yet, but check it out real quick. Little sneak peek to the garden renovation. It is amazing right now. So first thing we got to do is put the tent together. Now, if you've never done one before, it might take you an hour in total to put together. Now, most people the tents are designed to be done like this, straight up and down, but that takes up too much footprint for me. So the real hack right here is taking it and flipping it on its side. And so long as you get the one that's in the description and it's the right size, then you will see how we do it, okay? But one thing that you want to make sure when you do is that you put the flap so that it opens downward like this. Because as you will see, this will be our one of our tools for regulating the heat in the tent is this flap, okay? So these tents, they've thought of everything, okay? They put these crossbars in there and you can move them around like this. And this is very useful, as you will see, for repositioning our lights. And here are the lights. Guys, the game has changed a lot since I left Northern California all those years ago. Now these lights are super thin, super lightweight, but you want to put them on these adjusters, guys. They come with the adjusters, and this makes it effortless to raise and lower the lights. You don't gotta mess around with a little shelf and wiring things up. And so we want to wire up the lights so that we've got it like this right here. Okay guys, so here is a look at this setup. Now these lights are hung and everything is nice and tidy here. We got these ratchet straps so that if we need to raise or lower the lights, it's virtually effortless, all right? And they're secured to these nice poles up here so that we can move them side to side as needed. And you will see why here in just a moment, why we do that. But man, they've come up with these fans. They did not have these back in the day, but they just clamps right onto the side. It's waterproof. It's designed to run 24/7, so get you one of them. Now, the next thing is going to be a heat mat, guys, and this heat mat has really up-leveled the game because it comes with a thermostat that is already attached to it. There's no probe, but you're not going to need a heat mat for this setup. You will see you typically don't need a heat mat. So next thing is the timer, guys, and there's a link in the description to all of this. I prefer analog timers. I always have. That way you're not having to reprogram every time a tiny little power outage or something, a hiccup goes. One side is always on. The other side is on the timer. And so you attach the lights to the time side, you attach the fan and the heat mat, if using, to the other side. Very simple. That way you do not have to think about it, guys. This setup is virtually self-contained, okay? Self-running. Now, we're going to look at the PAR meter. Remember, in the next video, I'll explain what these mean, but you can just look and see that as we get closer to the lights, it's more intense, all right? So this is the amount of light energy that the plants are receiving. And you can see here, using the meter, that there's not big fluctuations between the two lights. That's why I'm showing it to you, so that you know that we have them evenly spaced. I'll get more into that in the next video. But here is essentially what it will look like when you are set up. If you're using these awesome bootstrap farmer trays, which I highly recommend, just get them. It's a good investment. Get them and be done with it. You can bottom water. They're not falling over. They're not breaking. They last several seasons. There's links in the description to all of that. So here you can see I'm growing my wheatgrass. Guys, we love to juice that wheatgrass. Look at them roots. Those things are about to go crazy here as this stuff grows a little bit longer. You can grow your microgreens in here, whatever you want. But look, if you're using things like this bootstrap farmer trays, you'll get 32 of them per tray. So that's you get 5 trays in this setup. That's 150 plants. Even if you're using the bigger ones, the 3x3s, that you're still going to get like 90 plants, and that's a lot for most people. So now here's another thing that you want, is to make sure that you can monitor the temperature, because temperature is one of those 5 things. So is humidity. All of it, you need to know that. All right. So the next thing I want to show you is the light intensity. Okay, so in the next video I'll explain what these numbers mean, but for now just understand that at the canopy they're getting just enough light for good vegetative growth, 300 umol per meter squared per second. Okay, but if we get a little bit closer to the light, so we're going to drop it 3 inches. All right, we just dropped them lights 3 inches, which was really easy because I had those ratchet straps. Now, if you look at it at the canopy of the plants, now they're getting significantly more umol. They're getting significantly more energy. All right. So that's the effect of raising and lowering the lights. Now, right here is about what I like for seed starting. But as they grow and they get taller, the light will become more intense to them. So you have to keep these things in mind. I'll explain that in the next video. But for now, you can just see that there's relatively even light distribution. But the closer you get, the more that the spread is different. All right. So check it out, guys. Here we are early in the morning before the sun came up, and you can see there was no light leaks. It contains all the lights. That's pretty much ideal temperature. That humidity is a little bit high, but we're just growing things like basil right now just to eat ourselves. So here's what you do. If you need to regulate the temperature, because these lights, they're much cooler than high pressure sodiums used to be, but they still produce heat. All right, so that's why we do not have to use a heat mat for this tent. This tent will get plenty warm enough. So to regulate that, all we got to do is just open that top, or open that flap and let it air out, and that will make it pretty much ambient. So you can control all the 5 things that you need, and you've got gauges to understand exactly how much of what. So get on the grow tent train, guys. You're going to love it. Okay, so that's the setup. Now here is the one super tip. You take that timer and you set it for 16 hours on and 8 hours off, and you never touch it, even for onions. It is a common misconception that the onion bulbs based upon day length hours, but it does not. It bulbs based upon change in day length hours. You stick it to 16 hours on, 8 hours off, do not touch it, and you will have perfect success with all your crops, even the onions. When they go outside, they will thrive. I've been doing it for years. So right now I need you to share your thoughts in the comments. I also need a thumbs up from you, and if you can, share the video. This all really helps spread the reach. So I will see you all right here every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time for a live Q&A where I can answer all of your questions. And now is the ideal time to start ginger, so I will direct you to this video here which explains everything you need to know.